Beep. Beep. Welcome back
What's up?
to the Lousy Show.
Emphasis on lousy.
I don't want to jump in too quick, but I feel
we'll
like
get there.
some people,
We'll get there.
some people definitely can't see the irony, and it's incredible to say the least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get
Like,
into that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
No, as it's been a week. It's been a weekend.
yep. I've had a very lazy weekend. I'm talking like I barely moved yesterday and today.
Nice.
Yep. The wife and I just vegged out on the couch both days. And that's it. Like we cooked dinner, but
I'm trying to think of what I did yesterday. What did I do yesterday? I know. What did I do yesterday? Oh God,
It's great content.
Oh,
again.
I know. I know what I did. I know what I did. Yeah, no, I got chores done yesterday because I wanted to have today to like relax as much as I could.
Yeah.
Or at least work on things that I wanted to today. Like for instance, today I was able to hang out with my boys this morning and actually have some time to just chill with them. And then, like I think like right after that I went and picked some stuff up for my wife, came home, and then immediately went and purchased a barber chair. And when I got back here, I actually was able to like work on some like yard work that I wanted to get done and like clean up my shed because my shed. What?
I
remind you?
Yeah, I had meant to go and plug in the batteries for my lawn equipment, but forgot to do that. So I guess I'll be mowing on Tuesday, probably.
That's fair. Yeah, no, my shed looked awful.
Yeah.
Were you checking your calendar to see when you were mowing the grass?
No, I'm checking.
I just want you to go. I want you to go Tuesday.
No, I was doing that because of the weather. Because right now it's very PNW. It's like 60s, 70s, overcast, rainy. It's nice. Monday's supposed to be a little bit warmer, a bit. Tuesday's going down to like mid 70s or so. And then after that, it's like 90. And I'm not trying to mow 90. So I'm trying to plan around the weather. So.
Oh, no. It was 101 here.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh.
It's been moderate all week.
Yeah.
Like yesterday, I remember yesterday one of the things I did after I got all my chores done early in the day was took the boys to the park and let my oldest play with some of his friends who he met. Like we met them over there. And I want to say it was probably like 85 or 90, but the wind was blowing. It was nice. It was like this. Yeah. It was beautiful. So yeah, that was nice. But like, not today. I'll tell you right now, that heat got to me earlier.
Yeah.
Because when we got out there and did the yard work, and then when I was taking care of the shed, for anybody, I don't know if we talked about this, but like for anybody out there, I just redid my entire garage and turned it into a game room, like a legit like friends come over, play board games kind of thing.
Have you posted that in Discord yet?
I have not. It's not like done, and I'm going to post it when it's actually done because I'm getting lights and whatnot for it. But we've been working on that, and so there were shelves hanging up. Like I'll show a before and after of the garage. It's going to be night and day difference. But there, like in there were these like two tabletop cabinets, kind of like a bar, side by side to one another. And then above that were two like big cabinets with this bridging like shelf across the middle. We took those off the wall. We took the two out of the wall. We threw away the small one because on the ground because that one was just dead. It was done. Yeah. There was no way to save it. The big one we repurposed. We painted it and put it in there, and that's now my table to hold all my equipment for cutting hair and whatnot. But the big ones up top, we kind of just stuffed them in the shed because we were like, we'll figure out something for them later. We just don't have any room for them. And then I realized very quickly that we ran out of room in the shed because of that. And I couldn't get like the lawnmower out easily or actually like put stuff in there or get stuff out. So that was today, was cleaning that up. We actually repurposed one of them, put it in there, and like that way it's like holding like pool chemicals and things that we need.
Nice.
But yeah, the shed got all cleaned up, cleaned up the backyard. It's one of those things where like I've been wanting to get these projects done, and I finally had a chance to actually like knock them out.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
So, I will say the next big project I have for the house, though, because of course we're working on the garage, turn that into the game room, which that's about like, if I had to put a percentage on it, I would say that's about 70% done. Because we're doing a lot of trim work on it too, which is one of the cool things about that I'm really proud of. We repurposed some boards and got some more pine boards that you would typically use for like handyman shelving. And we repurposed them and stained them to make it look like an old tavern style trim. So we have like slate gray, like charcoal gray walls with like deep brown trim, like old wood trim style, and it looks really dope.
Hell yeah.
The only thing I think I want to do differently is I'd like to put flooring in there at some point, like just a simple like, laminate. But that's not gonna be for a while because laminate
make it look like an old wood floor kind of thing.
Yeah. So if you want to donate to the Make the Game Room official thing, no, I'm kidding.
There's no link, so too bad.
Subscribe.
Yeah.
Subscribe.
There is that.
That'll help us.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I know one thing. The next big project I'm going to do to this house that I really, really want to do is painting the house, like the actual exterior. Yeah. I'm actually this week contacting a garage company here to come by and see if we can fix the garage door, because if so, we're just going to keep it as a manual door, and I'm going to put one of those like latch locks on it. And then get them to repair the seal around it and then just paint it, because I mean, we don't use the door, the garage to move cars in and out. If we have a manual door, we can just lift it up and down as we go. Like, cool.
Yeah. You don't really need a garage door opener. Our house now, it's a single car garage, but no opener or anything. It's wired for it, but the owner just never put one in. But I mean, it's a small door. It's easy to open. It's relatively new. It's, I think, like 9 years old, so like it's not ancient by any means. So it still works really well, and it has a little latch lock on it. Works great. So
yeah, like I don't need anything special in there. The biggest thing I need is just to like have the seal repaired, so that way when we turn the AC on in there, it's not gonna dump all the air out through the door.
Yeah,
because that door is actually insulated, so when it gets cold out, like we'll be able to still go in there and play comfortably.
Nice.
But like the biggest thing is I just want to make sure like we're not leaking any air out of there. So
yeah,
getting that done, painting the house, and calling it a day.
Yeah, hell yeah. I don't really have any major projects coming up or anything. I just I recently though tried an actual smart light switch instead of like light bulbs, and it actually works really well. Has dimming directly on it as well. And then it works with Google HomeKit, the other A word, which I won't say out loud just in case it's within range of anybody that's listening to this right now, but Amazon's, we'll say. That's it. I tried one, so I think I might do those throughout the house.
Hey Alexa,
no, you bitch.
Play Baby Shark on repeat
forever and ever.
And everyone's scrambling. No,
never stop.
Code Red, Baby Shark. No, so you were talking about the smart light switches. What is that exactly like?
It's like an actual. So it's the whole light switch. So you won't be able to see it. It's like hidden in this one with Luke right now, but you guys can't see it, but he can. And it's in the bedroom actually. But so it's the actual light switch.
Dimmers in the bedroom. Anyway, I'm more of a clapper.
I'm more of a get up and scramble to turn it off real quick. No, just kidding.
I'm pale. No.
Yeah. But no, so you take the whole light switch assembly out.
Okay.
And then put it in a new one that.
Oh, so it's a whole assembly.
Yeah.
That's sick. Okay.
But the nice thing about that is it was $19, I think, for that one. So instead of having to get like I have a lot of Philips Hue stuff right now. So instead of getting like a pack of 4 light bulbs for, $15 a piece. And then they last a long time. Like I'm still on the original ones. I think one's finally starting to go, and I got it like 6 years ago, something like that.
Yeah.
But the nice thing about the Switch is you don't have to have a smart light bulb. The Switch is all the smart stuff. It just has to be dimmable. Now, if you want like RGB, that's a whole nother thing. But for the bedroom, I don't need RGB. Like I'm not trying to fucking rave while I'm trying to go to sleep or other things. So, but
I don't know why. I'm just like, I've just seen you.
Just the polka music's just
my God, no.
blasting. That's all I listen to.
Dude.
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, so no, I put that in. It was super easy to learn. I'd never put one in before.
Nice.
So I did that, and it was super easy, honestly.
Hell yeah.
And it'll be way cheaper in the long run too. So I like
Nice.
that.
There's one thing I will say I'm pretty proud of as far as swapping out fixtures and such, and shout out to our boy Greg, for helping me do this. We replaced the light fixture because our kitchen is one like kitchen dining room unit. But the problem is that is the hottest corner of the house.
Ooh.
Because especially if we're cooking, all the heat just floats over to the dining room and makes it super uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And so I was just researching, and I found, and this, I mean, whenever you have the opportunity to look it up, definitely take a look at it if you want to do something like this. They make units, and I didn't know this. It has this farmhouse style chandelier. The lights sit in the top. It goes with 4 bulbs, sits in the top of it, and underneath is a fan. And I've never seen this before. Let me know in the comments if you have heard of this and if I'm just dumb for not hearing this. But that's a game changer, because that fan has 6 different speeds. It has rotation to send cold air down and cold air up. So if you want to pull cold air up to let heat set more, like you can do that. You have the light switch, of course, which I put Govia bulbs up there so I can RGB up there if I want to. Just
listen to polka music in the dining room.
But no, dude, it's a game changer. Like I'll set that to like 3, which isn't even max. You can't hear the fan. Literally, all you hear at max is like that's it. And when I tell you the temperature difference is astronomical, it's insane. Like,
is it one of those that has like the see-through blades?
No,
I've seen one. It's like it's a light, and it's like an LED strip around the outside of it, but then on the inside it's got like transparent fan blades.
That's
and
cool.
So it's meant to be a little bit less fan looking and more light looking, but you can still get that. I was actually considering it for here before we got the AC fixed. And I realized it's going to be a fucking freezer in here. But I might still get one just for fun, but I don't know. Like that's down the road if I do it. But
yeah, absolutely. Well, no, the cool thing about this is you can't even tell there's a fan in it until you're sitting right underneath it. If you look, and like unless a fan's on or you look up, you wouldn't tell there's a fan in it.
Gotcha.
You see the lights in the top because it's a chandelier, so you see the lights in the top like a chandelier would, and you get the cage around it, and then the fan sits right at the bottom where, like, you know how some chandeliers have the top band and the bottom band that holds the middle together. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
That band, that's how thick the fan is, so you can't even tell it's there.
Nice.
Yeah, so
kind of
really cool. I'm actually, so above me, I actually have an RGB light that I never use because I have everything else in here now, and I put that in there in case I needed to have light in here. But it's a flat like plate light kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I'm actually thinking about taking that and putting that in the garage, and then getting one of those fans and putting that here.
Yeah.
And then just taking this fan that's behind me and just putting it somewhere else, like probably in my bedroom, to be honest with you, because I sleep hot.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I like, that's how good it is. I was like, shit, if it works that well, like full send, let's do it. So
fans are game changers.
Yeah.
We have just 2, kind of like what you have, 2 tower fans in our bedroom. I was also considering one of those like invisible style ones for the bedroom here, but I don't really feel like really fucking with it, you know?
Yeah.
It's too much work.
Honestly, one of the biggest things, I might have talked about this on a previous episode, but one of the biggest things this house needs, and if the previous owner of this house ever somehow finds this podcast, just know, like, I'm judging you. I just need you to know. I'm gonna be honest. I'm judging you.
Yeah.
The insulation of this house is old as fuck, dude. Like,
Well, it's an older house too, right?
yeah, but all the houses around us are updated. Like, the exterior isn't. The exterior had that like old style, like 2000s Midwest vibe to it, which I dig. Like, I like it, you know. The only thing I don't like about our house is I just want to change the color. Like, I don't mind the old school panels that we have on it because it gives it character, in my opinion. But as far as the internals, man, like, as a homeowner, I mean, I get it. Like, things are astronomically high in price, but the fact that, like, the insulation, I had a dude come check it out. Like, I got a free consultation. Dude came out, got in there. When he came out, he was like, "Oh yeah, you need new insulation." I was like, "Why is that?" He goes, "Because this hasn't been replaced since the 80s." And I was like, "Oh my God." He goes, "You know how I know?" I said, "How?" And he literally had in his hand styrofoam balls. And he goes, "The last time this was used was in the 80s."
Oh, shit.
And I was like, "Oh, okay. That makes sense." And he goes, "Yeah, and you have an attic full of it." So I have to, it's not terribly expensive. I think he quoted me like $1,500 for the job, which in all accounts is actually really good because they had to get into the crawl space above the bedrooms to get in there as well. But all in all, I mean, like, replace your insulation, because also you get a bonus from, you get a rebate and a bonus on your taxes when you do like shit like that to your house to like make it greener, so to speak. Like, for instance, when I swap out my AC unit, which I hopefully, I'm hoping it doesn't kick the bucket soon because it's supposed to be hot. But if it wanted to kick the bucket in like October, I wouldn't complain.
Yeah.
But like, when I replace that, I'll be able to get a rebate on that, and I'll be able to get a tax break as well because I'm converting my house to a green efficient house.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Also looked into solar. Wonder how much it's going to cost me to get solar installed here?
I'm sure it's probably expensive, right?
Take a stab.
I mean, I've seen I guess it depends on the level of solar, but I don't know, like 15 grand. How much?
Quota was 120,000.
Holy shit.
Yep.
What the fuck?
Yep. Because they would have to install everything. Like, my house has nothing prepared for it.
Yeah.
And panels themselves are just astronomically expensive right now.
Damn. I mean, I've seen, like, I watched some, maybe part of it too is, well, I'm sure a good chunk of it's labor, but there's some like YouTubers that I've watched in the past that have like installed their own or gotten it installed. And I've seen it range anywhere from like, the cheapest I saw was like 10 grand. And then the most expensive was like 80 or something like that. So that's ridiculous.
Yeah. And the thing too is, like, I know once upon a time they had that, like, I think it was the federal government or maybe just an independent contractor, but I remember seeing like there was like plans in place to help homeowners go solar. I actually think it was part of, I don't know if it was the Green Initiative. I think it was, what was that federal plan? There was a plan that went into effect where like they were trying to go super green, and they were using federal money to basically front the cost of these panels to get installed on your house. And you had to pay like 10% or something like that.
Gotcha.
As like a what's the word I'm looking for? Almost like a, what's that? The health term. When you have to pay X amount. Like a copay.
Oh, okay.
Like a copay where you have to like pay a copay and then they cover the rest. But yeah, like I missed that entirely.
Yeah.
Like I don't get that at all. But
Yeah.
Just even small things like I said, being able to swap out my AC unit, because they've got new AC units now where they have ratings for how like green it is.
Oh yeah, I know. Remember we got installed here.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Mm.
And then on top of that, the same thing with insulation. Like the insulation that he told me he would use is likely spray insulation, because it's the most efficient. It lasts the longest and it holds temperature really well. And he told me, he was like, you'll see an astronomical difference if you can replace both. But the problem is just replacing the AC unit by itself. If I were to come out of pocket on it, 20 grand right there. Like no questions asked. And the good thing for me is I have a warranty. So if the damn thing dies, which it's on the verge of dying, like if the damn thing dies, I only had to pay for any special parts made. Yeah. And the last guy who came out looked and he was like, I think you'd maybe have to come out of your pocket like $500.
Hell yeah.
He was like, just based on how they have it set up, because they're going to have to basically tear everything out of the ceiling in the basement and take the entire furnace out and then replace it with an updated furnace, run the lines, and then put the unit outside.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, it's things I would love to go ahead and do, but I'm just like, I ain't got that kind of scratch, you know?
Yeah.
But
I mean, it's not something you get done in the first, year of owning the house, like that's something that you spread out typically.
That is one of the hardest things. Cause you know me.
Yeah.
When I get a wild hair up my ass, I'm like, I got to do it now. And that is one of the hardest things for me to accept. Is just like, you're not going to fucking do this right now, pal. Like you just got to wait.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I try and find projects around the house where I'm like, yeah, this will satisfy me. Like the game room, for instance. Did that need to happen right now? No. But I mean, we host D&D every Friday night. Hell, some of the guys have been coming over and playing board games. Like fucking last night, we played board games from like 8:30 until 2 a.m.
Damn.
Yeah, like just hanging out in there. Like I got people who come by and get haircuts, like, so it's not a necessity, but it's a good project to work on.
Yeah.
So it's like things like that where I'm like, you know what? I can at least get this done and feel happy with myself.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to finally like relax a little bit as the colder air starts rolling in, because here in about a month we're gonna start feeling some fall weather roll in, and I'm ready for it. I think that's gonna help me slow myself down a little bit.
Yeah, that'll limit you a little bit.
Yeah,
but we went on a 20-minute ramp on. Just
sometimes you just gotta talk about personal shit, dude.
Sometimes you just gotta talk about personal shit.
That, you know what? Honestly, shout out to Two Bears, because they do that a lot.
Yeah, they'll just talk.
They'll just talk. More
Bert.
Facts. I know I'm Bert. Comments don't have to come after me. I know I'm the Bert in this scenario. So, because Sam is definitely Tom, who judges the fuck out of me all the time. No,
I'm just a douchebag.
Yeah, you are a douchebag, and I am a contrarian. I am overweight Jake Paul. That's a throwback. That's a throwback right there.
Yeah. You know what? Before we dive into that, I actually just realized we totally glossed over the year anniversary of the Lousy Show.
Yes, we did. I realized that when I was editing the last episode.
We're close. We're about 3 weeks off, but it's 3 weeks ago, I should say. It was August 3rd, I think. I looked it up earlier. Yeah. Was when we posted our first video. So yeah. Shout out to a year of the Lousy Show and a year of interesting comments.
So one thing I'll say to that, when I was editing, because as everybody knows, we've talked about this time and time again, I do all the post video editing. Yeah. You do all the video editing. When I was going through and doing that, I always look to make sure, like, just to double check, like, are we scheduled good? Did I accidentally click on anything? And so on and so forth. And I was like, wait a second. We're like halfway through August already. And I was like, scrolled all the way back to see, and I was like, oh shit, we went right past it.
Meow.
But I will say that's a testament to the show, because I wouldn't say it's a bad thing we missed our 1 year. That just shows that we enjoy this show so much. We didn't even think about the fact that we've been doing this for a year.
Honestly, it hasn't felt like a year. Honestly.
No. It's felt this
like
has been
6 months, maybe,
tops.
Like, which is weird because, like, especially now we've increased our schedule. Mm-hmm. We do a lot of TikTok clips, so there's like a lot of after recording shit that y'all don't see that we spend time on.
Mm-hmm.
And so like it's a chunk of time. It's not a ton by any means, but it never has felt. The only time I felt like, I got to slog through all this is I got backed up on TikTok clips and I had to go and do them. And so,
yeah, you
and I did.
fucking.
I
heard that comment, by the way. As I was hanging the phone up, I heard you look at your wife and go, "Did you hear that?"
Yeah.
I was just like, "This motherfucker!" Like, okay, here we go. So for everybody wondering, so same thing with our edits. Like, he does all the video editing for the clips that you see on TikTok. I do all the posting of the clips on TikTok.
Yep.
And if you see comments, like if we respond to something, it's probably one of the two of us. Like, it's not always me. It's sometimes him as well.
I'll go on and do some of that.
The funny part about this is when I'm posting, like, I'll batch upload drafts as any content creator should. You should have I mean, hell, I know some creators who had like 150 plus drafts just chilling, waiting to be posted.
Jeez.
And so I'll just batch upload drafts. That way I can go in and just bing, 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 and post as we go. I go to hop into the drive where we keep all of our clips, and I'm thinking, cool, I'm probably gonna have like 1 or 2 folders tops. No. Like all 10, 15 folders later, and I'm like, holy shit.
And for reference, each folder is an episode, and within each folder is 4 clips at least. And then I upload the full episode. And then Tifu is now a new batch of clips too, and I got them all done. I took them. I think it was like a Monday or Tuesday. I was like, I'm not doing shit. Let me just do it and just get it all out the way. So that's the only time I was like, ugh, But that was a self-inflicted wound. It wasn't the act of doing the editing. So
it's funny you say self-inflicted wound. The reason I called you wasn't because of you doing all that work. No. The reason I called you is I panicked because I thought that you or I had some point gone and like emptied out the used folder and put them all back in the original. And I was like, oh my God, which ones have we uploaded? I have to figure this out now. Fuck. Yeah. And then I started looking, I'm like, wait, let me call him real quick. Recent. I don't think any of these are used, dude. Like, it was definitely a shock.
That was a funny phone call.
But I would like to bring us back to a statement just a moment ago. The statement of sometimes we do in fact respond if the comment's good enough.
Yep.
However, lately, some of these comments we've seen come through. Well, Sam, you were the target of our most recent attack.
I'm normally not, so it's kind of a surprising thing. It doesn't affect. I don't care.
I'm not gonna lie, dude.
Some fucking.
Usually I'm the big dummy here who gets all the flack, but I get to sit back on this one.
Joe's usually the one with the hot take, or the hat that says "can't please them all," or While he does that, somebody recently commented on our there it is, the truck episode.
Lousy finances. Wait, what was it? What was the title? Oh shit!
It was like
us being
truck
great.
edition or something like that.
It was Lousy Finances Truck Edition. Yep.
And I got called out for
hard
having a Dodge Ram. Well, also, hang on, I'm just gonna read it. Fuck it. I'm not gonna say who it is because fuck them. But let's see. And I hope they watch this episode too, because that was a podcast, which we normally don't get like a ton of random people watching the
ironically
podcast. It's usually the Reddit episodes, but
ironically, that's I think one of our most viewed podcasts to date.
Recently, yeah. Let's see here. Comments. Here we go. So it's, wow, this is worse the more I listen. Refinancing a truck. Now you own a Dodge Ram, the quintessential vehicle for poor people with bad credit and serious douchebaggery. So not only did I get called a douchebag, I got called poor, which I mean,
what year is your Ram?
2020. I'll tell you what the sticker was on it.
No, I'm just looking at something.
Okay. I got They said I had bad credit. Don't have bad credit. I have good credit. And I'm not a douchebag. I don't think. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Am I a douchebag?
So I just want to know what poor people are going out and purchasing a 2020 Dodge Ram. Fair purchase price, and this is the do you have which 1500 do you have?
I have the limited.
Okay.
It's a 4x4 5.7 Hemi
crew cab, right? Hold on.
Yep.
All right. So yeah, you're on the north end of this then. For just a standard 1500 crew cab, average KBB fair purchase price, national average is between $26,696, which would put your monthly payments between $400 and $500 if you have about an 8% interest rate. And actually north of that, maybe even a little bit.
Yeah.
No, between 4 and 5. And $40,030 on the north end.
Yep.
Now I'm not sitting here and judging on who's poor or not. I don't really care what people's financial statuses are because it does not make me sleep any better or any worse every night.
Yeah.
But off the rip, I'm just curious as to who the fuck they are to call people who buying Dodge Rams poor. Cause look, if you got money, cool. But like weird flex.
Well, the whole thing that bothers me, I don't care. Like, you can call me poor, you can call me a douchebag, you can call me, say I have bad credit. I don't give a shit. But for somebody to make a snap judgment on the type of car you drive,
yeah,
it's so mind boggling to me. Like, I don't get it at all. But I mean, I guess yes, I like the nicer parts of the truck, but like, I'll easily eat a piece of humble pie and like drive a fucking 99 Civic if I needed to, like those things are bulletproof. But
so here's the funny part though. Not only that, they even made a comment about refinancing your truck because you talked about refinancing your Ford.
Yeah.
Now I want to make a comment about this because I'm not a financial expert by any means. I'm not saying that you should take my word as law, but I know enough about finances.
Just in general. We're not just in general. Like, don't take what we're saying as advice.
This is not financial advice. This is just financial knowledge that I've gained by speaking to not only mentors, but also studying and attending many forums and webinars in regards to finance to better understand, not only for myself, but at once upon a time, I was training to help in this field and I just found it wasn't for me.
Yeah.
But I retain that knowledge, and you can ask Sam. I am an encyclopedia of useless fucking knowledge. So take this as you will. Refinancing your truck. The reason you asked that question, you followed it up by saying, and now you own a Dodge Ram, the quintessential vehicle of poor people with bad credit and serious douchebaggery. Your statement doesn't make sense because if he were to refinance his truck, he would have to have good credit in order to refinance it at a fair value of interest rate.
Yep.
Without astronomically fucking his monthly payment up or extending his credit, his term limit out. And he even confirmed that he could have done that, but instead decided he found a truck that he liked even more, which he was able to walk on the lot that day, know what his value was in his truck, be able to have his credit approved, no problem, because he already knew his score was good enough, and then flip it into a truck that he likes.
Fuck me, I'm a douchebag.
For anybody who's wondering, refinancing a vehicle is one of the smartest things you can do, especially in today's economy, because a lot of people who do have lower credit scores get fucked by interest rates where, prime example, I talked about this in that episode, I believe. Yeah. I owned a 2012 Ford F-150. Guess what? You want to know what my interest rate was? 17.5% on a $20,000 loan. Do the math. It fucking sucked. I refinanced my truck and not only refinanced it where I slashed my interest rate in half, I brought it all the way down to 8 flat. Yeah. So over half, I slashed it down by refinancing and saved money in my monthly budget doing so. So to anybody who questions refinancing a vehicle, if you think that's dumb, I don't value your opinion anymore.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what you're talking about.
I also will just immediately, like, there are some cars I'll shit on just because it's funny sometimes, you know, like PT
Yeah.
Cruisers. Fuck PT Cruisers.
Oh, Teslas.
Well, yeah, we've talked about Teslas at length on here. We're not going to get back into that because that will be another hour and a half. But like, just immediately jumping on somebody for the car they drive, just that by itself to me
Mm-hmm.
is you're a douchebag for doing that.
Oh yeah.
So,
well,
yeah,
that this if you remember we talked about this in the retirement fallout episode.
Yeah.
And I made a comment about one of the reasons why I left streaming was how toxic it's gotten. The unfortunate effect is this. YouTube is one of the, if not the biggest app, like production app in the world. You know, where most people watch.
Yeah, I think it's like Google is the most visited. And I think Facebook or YouTube is second or third.
Okay.
Something like that.
So it's up there.
I'm just off the top.
Yeah. But I'm realizing more and more that toxicity, while it is prevalent in the streaming space, you'll never escape it.
Oh yeah.
Because people, when you put a keyboard in front of somebody's hands,
the internet is just full of keyboard warriors.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's on, you know, doesn't matter, you know, if it's political, if it's fun, if it's, you know, sexy, it's not, like, you know, whatever. Mm-hmm. Somebody is going to get on there and troll the fuck out of you.
Yep.
Or just be a shitty human being that doesn't know what they're talking about.
Yep. Actually, I do want to call out this real quick. Matt McFly was one of the first people to comment, one of the first people to comment on that truck video.
Mm.
And they asked, you talk about payments, but how much was the truck? I can actually see how much mine was right now.
I would say on mine as well.
Mine was just under 33. And that is with, I was able to trade in my Honda at $5,000 over base pricing.
Mm.
So $5,000 of equity flipped into the truck, which is important. Remember that. One equity in your vehicles. Hold on. I forgot about this. This motherfucker, hang on. This motherfucker actually went on to comment more. Where's the other comment?
Oh, really?
They made they made a comment somewhere talking about how you like losing equity in a vehicle somewhere. Where was it? Hold up. I remember hearing about this comment.
Would it not be on the same?
I don't remember.
Thing? Can you search by person?
I remember reading it.
Search.
Either way. My head. Either way. But I just south of 33 had $5,000 of $5,000 of equity into the truck from my Honda. And then on top of that, I also am paying for the base coverage package, which allows me to go from 3 months, 3,000 miles to 5 years, 50,000 miles. And I have a custom package added onto that to cover, cause I drive a Denali. So to cover, wheels and tires, oil changes, and there's something else, like a couple other things involved in there that's like worth it. Cool thing about that too is this, if I ever sell the truck, because of how much I had to pay out for the truck value, I can contact the lot that I bought it from and let them know, hey, the truck is sold, show them proof of selling it, and they will refund me retroactive all the money that I did not spend on that deal, like for the package.
Yeah.
So I get a chunk back on top of the positive equity I'll get out of the truck.
Nice.
Yeah,
that's pretty good. Originally, so a few things to keep in mind. One, when I was buying the trucks were ridiculously expensive. Like the 40 on the north end that you're talking about now, it's almost a year now that I got it. And so, like, you know, it's aged a year. But they were originally asking, and this was usually about the median price for that trim and everything, was 52. I did not spend 52. I talked them down because, like I mentioned in the episode, that truck had been sitting on the lot for 4 months. So I talked them down to 41 overall. And then I had 12 to 15, I can't remember exactly off the top of my head, in equity in the truck, in the Ford. So overall, I'm financing, I think it's either 29 or 30. After taxes and everything else like that is all said and done. So, and then my interest rate's 6.8, I think, or 6.9. I think it was 6.9 because I remember going, nice. But yeah, so my payment is exactly where it was, but I have much newer, fancier truck. So.
Mm-hmm. Well, and that's like my payment went up a little bit, but I also have a little wiggle room in my monthly budget to do that.
Yeah.
The cool thing, so I looked up mine. So mine's a 2016 GMC Sierra 1500 Denali. True Car is saying, depending on the mileage, it ranges anywhere from 10 grand in value to 48,181 in value. Yeah. And I'm looking at other GMC Sierra Denali's 2016s that went, some of these are right around my price as well. But a lot of the ones that are being sold right now aren't the same color and such. And I actually got mine for a really good price.
Hell yeah.
So,
but all that to say, none of that matters because we can afford it. We are grown adults.
Yeah, that's one thing to remember is like, who gives a fuck? Like, I don't want to be like morbid for a moment, but I'd like to point something out. Money is money.
Yeah.
Money is physical. Money is material. When you die, you ain't taking that shit with you. So enjoy what the fuck you want now.
Yep.
Like, who gives a fuck if we drive trucks now? We were just happy to fucking talk about it.
Yep.
All that to say, we're douchebags. And we may have, yeah, well, you're a douchebag. I have a laundry list of names at this point. And yes, we do now have a Google Doc that we save all these names because we like to remember them. So thank you.
Yep.
Last point I'd like to make before we jet.
Eventually.
Yes. Oh, you are a genius, Sam.
Oh, I know. I'm a douchebag.
That's going to be brilliant. I'd like to make one last comment before we leave.
Sure.
Welcome to the Lousy Show.
Not the good show.
Not the great show.
Not the decent show.
Not the bad show.
The lousy show.
The Lousy Show.
Yep.
I think people miss the irony.
Yep.
So much when they comment these things. And yes, we read them. And again, if the comment's good enough, we'll respond. You can go back and see we've responded to plenty.
Yep.
But I think people forget that from time to time as the name of the show. And I'm not saying we did that on purpose, but
it was a good cop out for any kind of bullshit that comes up.
it is the best ace in the hole that we've got.
Yep.
So with that said, subscribe to the channel. If you made it this far, join the Discord. Links in the description. We've actually revamped everything. We're doing a lot more server related entries to the show. So if you want to be a part of that and you want to be able to offer up some things, we'll be giving you a shout out, giving you some flair. Please, by all means, join the Discord. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, and I guess we'll see you on Thursday.
Bye.
Later.